Hi, welcome to a Zeens and Roger Granny special. The Granny Cal of 2018 has closed and I am here today to tell you the winners and the prizes and share what I have granified and have general granny celebratory yays. You can see I didn't rehearse that. So how did you get on? Did you do all right? I have been absolutely bowled over, absolutely amazed and astounded and staggered and thrilled and delighted that so many people have joined in. There have been so many entries on Ravelry and Instagram. Did I put it on anywhere else? I didn't. Was it just Ravelry and Instagram? I can't remember now. It's been absolutely awesome. I don't know what to say really, well, apart from all of that. Thank you so much. It is just amazing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to all those that took part. Thank you to people that donated prizes. Thank you to people that shared information about the Cal, whether that be on their blog or on their Instagram page or on Instagram stories or whatever. Thank you so much. Even, I mean, just people that I wouldn't have thought would share it, shared it, and they got really involved. Inside Crochet magazine, they shared it on their Instagram stories and they shared it on their Instagram feed. I was amazed. It's just like, what? You're a magazine. I'm just me sat at home going, fancy making a granny square. It's just brilliant. And you will notice I'm not wearing any grannies, and that's because I didn't get it finished. I was really hoping to have finished my granny jumper, my granny stripe jumper. But I'll show you in a minute how far I've got. It's such a shame that I didn't have it, and I didn't want to wear one of my old ones because I've worn those loads before. I wanted it to be really special, but I am wearing a new jumper that's bought from a shop that I really, really like. So to keep you waiting a little bit longer, I'm going to tell you what I have grannied in the duration, over the duration of the crochet along, and also sort of what I made in the run up to it, knowing that it was happening and stuff like that. So I mean, it's not an immense pile of stuff. I'll whiz through it quite quickly so you don't have to wait too long, but I just wanted to share with you what I got up to. So the first thing I did was I had to crochet granny squares because I knew I wanted to take a photograph as my title photo or whatever to share the Cal information. And so the sort of when I decided that I wanted to do it, and it all happened quite quickly because one minute I'd mentioned it on the vlogcast, and the next minute I'd sort of said, okay, let's start. And so I crocheted a bazillion gajibillion granny squares just to choose some to take photographs of, and as you can see, some don't even have their ends sewed in or whatever, and nothing came of those. They're all different rounds and different sizes, so that one's got a flowery centre, as has that one, and then these ones are very much traditional ones and in a completely different sort of, the colours don't necessarily go, so I didn't want to put them together. But I might well find a charity that stitches, I can't remember the names of any, but I know that they exist, the ones where you send off squares to be stitched up for big blankets. I might well just post those off rather than worrying about what I'm going to make with them. Somebody else can worry about that, and then at least I feel like I'm, you know, doing my bit as well. So I'll look into that and not worry too much about what I can make them. Let them keep somebody else warm. So I did all those, and then I think was it the next project I did was, and the only, oh no, And even before it had sort of begun, like 2 or 3 days before kick-off, I made myself a cowl, because I'd made one before but it was massive and I wanted to sort of make it smaller so that it was a bit more everyday and a bit more manageable rather than a massive thing. So I made this, and I'm really, really pleased to see that loads of other people made it as well. That was cool. One person in particular made about 101, which was Zelda, and I can't remember your not Instagram, your YouTube name. It's Z somebody, another Z, who's not me, made 100 billion-1 cowls, all of which were awesome, so thank you very much. So I made that, and it's very cosy. But my one and only finished granny object is my purse, which I've told you all about on different occasions, I believe. A lined granny pouchy purse thing, which I still haven't allocated as a... It might become my makeup bag, but I'm a bit worried about it getting ruined. I like it so it's all spanky and clean. That has to be one of the favourite things I've made for a long time, actually. Not just granny, but overall crochet. So I did that, and then I did lots of squares, which I've lost. And I think they're in the bottom of a basket. And I'm going to have to feed back another time on those because, yeah, joining fail on those. One day I'm determined to find the perfect join for these guys. I've got 40 squares and they will be joined, and it will be... I picked up a tip the other day and I don't know if I'm going to be able to put it into practice because I've kind of ruined them all by joining them and ruining their outers. But somebody told me about a really good tip for joining the other day, and I'm going to experiment and try it, and I'll let you know one day if it works. But it's something I've never heard of before, and I'm not just talking about like whip stitching the back loops together or whatever. I'm talking about something even just literally I would never have even thought about. And now I've said that, I really hope I've interpreted it in the right way, because otherwise you might also know it anyway. But I'll have to feed back on that because I haven't tried it yet. But yeah, needless to say, that was a joining fail and therefore an unfinished granny. My next unfinished granny is this blanket, a granny stripe blanket that will one day have a rainbow border. So that was done in the name of granny. And then my next thing is my jumper that I wanted to wear. I have got a back, and I've got 2 sleeves. In fact, I think one of them's shorter than the other and needs another repeat. Yeah. And I've got this much of the front, and I just need to do the 2 sort of, I just need to build up to the shoulders a little bit, and then all the pieces are done and need to be joined together. I will have to, that's my priority over the next few days. I want that finished. It's got an annoying amount of ends to sew in because I decided to use up all my scraps, and therefore it's got more ends than necessary, which is annoying, but whatever, we'll get there, won't we? We'll get there. I'll get there. It'll be fine. So that is the Granny Rocks jumper by Claudine of Iron Lamb, and I'll talk about that in more detail when I've finished it. And I think that is it. So we're on to prizes and winners. Right guys, let's talk prizes. Initially it was just going to be some of my digital copies of my design my patterns, but over the course of the crochet along, I've had a few people get in touch and say that they would like to donate patterns as prizes as well. So I mean, I didn't say no, of course I'm going to say yes, because basically more prizes means I can hand out and have more winners, and there's nothing wrong with that, is there? That's pretty good. So as people came and sort of approached me and said, can I do this? I was like, yeah, sure. So some are physical, and I've got them here and I'll show you, and some are I haven't got my hands on, or they're digital anyway, and I will plop a picture over my face as I'm talking so you can see what the prizes are. I'll do the ones that are sat right here. So oh, this is really funny. I was photographing all the things this morning so I can write an accompanying blog post for this, and I was photographing what I had when there was a knock on my window. They didn't even ring on the doorbell, they knocked on the window, and it frightened the life out of me, and I said a rude word, and the postman obviously saw what I'd said. However, it was quite fortuitous, because that's got nothing to do with it, but it was quite fortuitous because it was actually one of the prizes that had arrived, which was great, because I'd been thinking about it that morning, going, oh, it should have arrived by now, but I'll blame the snow, so I'll give it a couple more days before I bother the person and say, oi, because that would be rude. They've donated a prize, which is brilliant. Anyway, I digress. So let me show you what the postman brought me this morning. And it doesn't look like much at the minute because it's all hidden and it's all wrapped up, and I'm not going to get it out because I don't want to spoil it. But I got one as well, so I can show you mine. It's all wrapped up beautifully. And it is a blocking board for granny squares. It doesn't have this, I've stuck a bee on it, but you'll see, if you win this, you'll see when that bee comes into play. So you have a blocking board and a little bag of dowel. Is it dowel or doweling? And then you stick them in the owls so you can block your squares. So there's lots of things like this. You can just stick them in and then have them here. And then obviously you can stack your granny so you can have lots blocking at the same time. And it's beautifully decorated. The other one isn't green, the other one is different, but I don't know how different it is because I haven't opened it. But I chose the green one. Oh, I chose the green one. I pulled too hard then. I pulled the ribbon out of its socket. I love green, so I chose green. But if you have a look, this is it's a lady called Becky, and she sells these little blocking boards. Busy Bee blocking boards. They're on Facebook and Instagram, and I will post all the details of how you can contact Becky in the accompanying blog post. But it says if you buy one of them or you use one of them, you can use the hashtag #BusyBeeBlockingBoard to show the board being used, which I think is quite sweet. But my phone, where's my phone? It's over there. But because I don't think that is the Instagram name. Did you just see my bum? But I have to say that Instagram was frozen earlier, so which is really annoying when it does that. Because on Instagram, oh no, Busy Bee blocking boards. Sorry, I was wrong. Crochet blocking though. Maybe you'll find her at crochet blocking as well. Yeah, you'll find Becky at crochet blocking on Instagram, but you might also find it if you typed in Busy Bee blocking boards. So go and check that out because they are so pretty, and I think she does different sizes as well. So that's prize number 1. Prize number 2 is in this box. I found this box. I'm going to reuse it if that's alright when I send it out to the person rather than recycling it, you reuse. So we have an enamel pin from Claudia of Crochet Luna, and it says Crochet Loving Yarn Sisters, or Yarn Loving Crochet Sisters, and it is the motif is a little granny square, so it's perfect as a prize. And Claudia's got an Etsy shop where she sells seashells. She sells these, and she's got another design as well for an enamel pin, and I think she's going to start selling project bags soon too. And then there's a couple of stitch markers that Claudia sent also, and I've taken a photograph so you can have a closer look at the sort of things she makes over on the blog. So that's another prize. The third prize is this, and I was quite I didn't think it was going to be so, well, it's not fair to say that I didn't think it was going to be so beautifully professionally finished. Of course it's going to be, because this person has an Etsy shop and they sell these in their Etsy shop, so why wouldn't they be? Of course they would be. Stupid. But I mean, whenever you get your mitts on something for real, it's always just so much better. And it is this Pearl and Plum project bag, and it is beautifully made, absolutely beautifully made. And Pearl and Plum is a lady called Vivian, whom I met, I met her at the weekend at the Edinburgh Yarn Festival, and it's just so nice to actually be handed them in person. But it's got a snazzy thing, so you can do this and keep your project safe within without the fear of anything falling out. It's amazing, amazing. To think that I struggle just to make a basic sort of zippered pouch. This is just so intricately done with and it's got pockets on the inside. I don't know if you won't be able to see, but there are pockets in there. It's amazing. That kind of boggles my mind a bit, because whenever I try and put things like this together, it's a three-dimensional jigsaw puzzle and I always go wrong. It's just amazing. I'm just like looking at that going, ah. And I was lucky because Vivian and her daughter Alison gave me one for myself as well, I don't have handles on mine, and a little notions pouch as well, which is beautiful. I'll save those for my next actual episode, so I'll show you those then. So that's a prize. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody. Oh, it feels like Christmas morning. It really does. So those are those. So that's 3 prizes. 4th prize is, I think I said 5 patterns of mine will go out to a winner. And then another prize is a project bag by Home Fire Ridge. So hopefully there'll be a photograph going up now of a project bag and a matching notions pouch, which looks amazing. And that's right now it's sitting in Australia somewhere, and the idea was that to save on, rather than it being posted out to me and then me posting it to a winner, it could just be posted directly, and which is a brilliant idea. Another one, Miss Moffat Yarns has donated a skein of hand-dyed yarn, and she's just down the road from me in Teignmouth, which is about a 40-minute drive if that. Which is brilliant. She lives on the coast. Her colours are very much inspired by the coast, and I think you get to pick your own colour. I've got a picture, and I think it's any one of those skeins you can choose. Not all of them, sorry, just one. But I've got some of I think she's called Kristen. I was not sure whether it's Kristen or Kirsten. I've got some of Kristen's yarn, and it is really beautiful, and it's nice and plump and squishy and scrummy, and it's beautifully done. So she will post a winner some yarn, and then Faye of the Crochet Circle podcast is donating a digital copy of her book, which I've got over here. Excuse me. Hi. You're not getting a physical copy, you're getting an electronic copy of Take 2. And it has got 8 patterns, and each pattern is shown 2 different ways. And there's some of the, I don't know if you can see those, some of the designs within. And I think I saw a version of that at the Edinburgh Yarn Festival the weekend. The Colosseum, or is it the Doppio, or is it? It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, it's the Colosseum. So a digital version of that book, and then I think, so how many is that? And then finally Quaylin is donating 2 of his patterns, which are both granny patterns, so perfect. Thank you, Quaylin. And so they will be sent to a winner as well. And so that's 8 prizes, so that's 8 winners, which is brilliant considering I think initially I was only going to do 2. Yeah. Oh, so I'm going to, risk of sounding like a stuck record, I am chuffed to bits. And thank you. So what I'm going to do is arbitrarily dish those out. There's going to be no thought behind it other than I think probably physical things that get sent out will be done in such a way that if I can match country to country, I'll do it that way. So for example, the winners I've got, there are some in the US and some in the UK, and I think there's one from Australia. And as luck would have it, one of the Homefire Ridge project bag is in Australia, so it makes sense to me to have, I want to say Laura of Homefire Ridge. It makes sense for her to post that one to Australia because she's in Australia. That makes perfect sense, yes. And yeah, Laura. I knew it was Laura. So that's how I'm going to divide it, and I hope that makes sense, and I hope you understand that that's how it's going to be, because it does cost £1 million to post to the US, and I'm going to try and avoid that where I can, and I think I can probably get away with it because it's now time for the winners. I've got them written down. This morning I got my random number generator up and I put in my numbers, and that is how the winners were chosen, apart from my favourites, because obviously I had to go through them all and choose and look with my eyes. And so what we have is 2 winners from the chatter thread on Ravelry, 2 winners from the finished object thread on Ravelry, 2 winners, 2 of my favourites, and 2 randomly chosen Instagram winners. And I couldn't do a number generator on Instagram because that would mean literally if it was like number 602, I would have had to count 602 things, and I wasn't prepared to do that. That I would get confused and lost, and I didn't do it that way. What I did was literally scroll like this, and I got all the way to the end and worked out how long that would take, and then that gave me a rough idea of how many times I had to do that, and up and down a bit, up and down, up, down, and then blindly stab, and I did that twice. That's how I came up with the Instagram winners. So anyway, there were 526 posts on the chatter thread. 526. That's bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. The first winner is number 349, and that is Timum2, or Timum2, and that's Jenny. Your name is Jenny, and you have won a prize. Chatter post number 2 winner is number 486. 2, I'm sure it's not bloop, but I'm saying bloop 2. 2 bloop 2. It's probably back loop or something like that, but 2 bloop 2 is Judy, and Judy, you have won a prize. Congratulations. You even got a doo-doo. Did you hear my doo-doo? Finished object thread, 700, no, Christ, 175 finished objects. That's amazing. I was expecting maybe 30. So that's good, well done. Hooray. Feather and threads. You were number 33. And that's Joe. And your finished object is a purse. And it's funny because actually you were going to be one of my favourites and I had to re-choose a favourite because you came up in the random finished object thingy. And you were only my favourite because, I say only, no, I don't mean it like that, sorry. You were my favourite because it's beautifully made and because I really, really liked it. But also it's because that's exactly what I wanted to make and failed at doing so, and you did it beautifully. It was this, you know, these guys. Whereas where I couldn't fasten mine very well, and you did it, and I want to be able to do it like you've done it, and I can't do it. It's not fair. So anyway, so you've won a prize. Next finished object one was a cushion, and it was number 161, and that is Crochet or Go Crazy. So that's Cara. So well done, Cara. So on to Instagrammers. And the first Instagram winner is Nicole of Tangle and Stitch. So well done. And it was you did some really nice things actually. I really liked the Wiggly Wiggly. I really like that one that you did. But that's not the one I landed on. The one I landed on was this one. So that's the one that I stabbed with my finger. And they're beautiful actually, really nice. So go and check out Tangle and Stitch, who has a really beautiful Instagram feed. Not that you'll be able to see this, but beautiful. And then the other Instagram winner is bum bum bum, Matilda Rose Crochets. And here we go. I don't know if you can see. It's another nice feed full of gorgeous crochet. Lots and lots of crochet. I like a feed with loads of crochet in it. And the picture that I stabbed was this one. So that looks to me like a granny blanket. Or maybe it's going to be a cushion. I don't know. Hang on. I didn't even read it. Sorry. A granny blanket. I was so naughty. I shouldn't say things like that. Picking my two favourites was the hardest thing. For some reason, I thought it would be easy. But the problem is that there are just too many good things, too many things that I liked. So many nice things. And it was really hard, really hard. So I've kind of gone with my gut on this one, and like the first one I chose because it made me go, oh, and rather than just like, oh, that's really pretty, it was a proper reaction. So that's why I've chosen this one, because it was so cute. And that is, there's these teeny tiny little baby cardigans, and they were so cute. And also, for some reason, I've never seen a little baby granny thing. Usually, baby clothes are all knitted, which is not true because I crocheted my baby a cardigan, wasn't knitted. But it's the first time I've actually seen a granny stitch in baby's clothes, which is probably just because I haven't stumbled across it, not because they don't exist. So that one elicited a really good reaction, and I figured that was why it should be a winner. And so there's it was a photograph of two baby cardies, but I believe that Bev, you entered another one at least, if not two more baby cardies, and they were all just as cute. But it was the first two that made me go, oh, they're so cute. And you are BAW1812 on Ravelry. And so well done, congratulations, you've got a prize. And then my other favourite I'm choosing because I want it, and it's what they've made has made me go, I'm going to do that because theirs is really good. And before that I'd seen this pattern a few times and I'd gone, yeah, I like that, but oh no, I'll never wear it. But this time I'm like, oh, I would wear that actually. And so that is a granny cardie. I don't know why I didn't realise this until I stared at it written down together that they're both, the winners are both cardies, and that's just the way it is. I didn't mean for that to happen. But that's Emma Craft's design. And you did is it the campfire cardie? I should have written that down and I didn't. Campfire cardie or something like that it is. And where's my phone? I've lost my phone. It's fallen down the back of the sofa. Bum bum bum. You can see how organised I am, can't you? What is the name of that lady? Is it Make Do? Make... No. What's she called? Let me look up Emma. Emma, you're on Instagram. I know that you are. Emma Crafts. No, that's not spelled right. Emma Crafts Design. Oh. Fat fingers. Ugh. Oh. Can't spell for toffee, honestly. I'm such a stickler for spelling, and when I never do it right on Instagram. Okay, here we go. It is the campfire cardigan, and it's Make and Do Crew. I was going Make Do. Make and Do Crew is the designer of that one. I didn't find out who the designer of the baby cardies was actually, but I'll put all the info in the blog, in the blog post that I write to accompany this. So yeah. Well done, everybody. Oh yeah. As you can see, big smile on my face. That went beautifully. It went so much better than I thought. I don't know what. Well, I thought it was just going to be sort of teeny tiny in a little gang of us. I didn't realise it was going to be quite so big. I mean, there was like 760 odd pictures on Instagram. That's just bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Ooh! I've just seen a follower I just got a new follower that's quite a nice one. Sorry, not that it's important, it's not. Thank you to that person. They're going to be my new best friend now. Right, I was trying to find the granny cow thing, and I've tapping on all my grannies and I can't find the hashtag. I could just type it in, but I'll have a case of fat fingers again. 762 posts on Instagram, and I've just loved looking through the hashtag. It's been brilliant, so much fun. Just go and check it out because there's all sorts. There's blankets, there's cushions, there's loads of home decor, there's hats, there's cowls, there's jumpers, cardigans, bunting, star shapes, brilliant, bags, purses, shorts. Well done, Melody, love those shorts. Yeah, oh, Beverly is also on Instagram now. I've just found her, Beverly Wainwright. I wonder if you've got the pattern there. So I get awfully distracted, don't I? You've probably switched off by now. She found a pattern on Ravelry. It's a free pattern called Maureen Charity Baby Cardigan. Right, I'll make sure I make a note of that. Let me just save it. Okay, yes. So thank you so much. What I will do is I will get in touch with everybody. I want addresses and email addresses, depending on. I will let you know how I've divided it up. I'm not going to tell you now who's got what. But yeah, maybe I should just make it a nice surprise, because I love that. If that was me, I'd love that, getting a surprise. We shall see. Look, I'm not doing a very good job now, so I'm just going to go. Thank you so much, and well, I may as well do another cowl, I suppose, one day, but I'm going to give myself a break. Anyway, thank you so much. Cheerio, bye bye.